Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make these mini flowers using upcycled books and how I attach them to upcycled wine bottles that I painted with chalkboard paint. So let's get started. And what you'll need is a couple of Petal templates, and I'll go ahead and link down below where you can get some free templates. You want at least 6 different size petals and your hexagon base. You want a glue gun and some glue sticks, a bone tool or a ruler to help curl the petals, any type of jewels, beads, or buttons for the center. And if you'll be attaching your flowers to a wine bottle, you will need an empty and cleaned out wine bottle, black chalkboard paint, and a sponge roller. Okay, so in my Silhouette Studio, I have already taken the flower petal template and I put them onto my page, and I already have them spaced out appropriately, so these petals actually just cut out on the letters of the pages. So I'm going to make sure to go over to my settings. I'm going to click copy paper because our book pages are very thin. I'm going to make sure my blade is on 2. I'm going to slow my speed down to about 5. The thickness can also go down. We'll bring that to 12, and then we should be ready to send it to the cutting machine as soon as we load our paper. And that's what we're going to do next. So this is where I have my machine, and I have, it's actually a Cricut mat. It was on sale, so not a Silhouette mat, but you can definitely interchange the 2 brands and the things that they sell, so it's not a big deal. But anyways, I have room for 4 pages. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to set them on there, and I'm going to square them on there. I'm going to line them on there as best as I can because we already have the program set up to cut in these specific areas. So when you saw it on the screen, you saw that the petals are only going to cut in this area. That's why there's so much blank space on the studio page. So I'm going to set 4 of these on here. And now we're ready to load into the machine. Now my machine is set up on my desk here that we've showed you before, so I have to, every time I use it, I have to turn it. And this desk was actually built just for this machine, so it is 4 foot in length. These mats are 12-inch by 24-inch. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to line up my mat into the machine. And then I'm going to press load cat mat. And I'm just going to ensure that my blade is set on 2. For some reason that's really tight. So we're set on 2. Put that back in. Lock it up. And now we're ready to press print. We'll come back to our studio, and then we'll just go ahead and press send to Silhouette. Okay, now that it's done printing, we're gonna just press unload, and then we can go ahead and start removing our petals. Okay, and this is what the petals look like when they're all cut out on the mat, and we'll just go ahead and peel up all of our petals, and then we're ready to start putting together our flowers. Okay, so now let's get started. For my flowers, I also opted to cut out a few leaves. Now with my bone tool, I'm going to start taking each petal and curling the petals. So I'll show you how I go ahead and I do that. So here's one petal. And you can kind of take your bone tool or your ruler or whatever you're going to use. You have to make sure it's a little bit more of a stiff piece. And you're just going to start curling the edges. You can flip over your petal and curl it that way. It gives your petal a little bit more texture and realism. So we have to go through and do that to all of our petals. Now, if you're going to cut out all of your petals by hand, do not forget that you still need to have this slit in the bottom of each petal. You just take a pair of scissors and you just cut up the center of the petal, not all the way, maybe a third of the way up the petal. You definitely have to have this in order to create and shape your petals. So each size petal, you're going to need to cut out 6 individual petals. And that's what we're going to be gluing on to our hexagon, 6 sides. And I'll show you that once we're done curling up our petals. Okay, now that we have all of our petals cut, we are going to take each one and we're going to use our hot glue gun to glue them together. And what we're gonna do is, it's kind of like the petal has like 2 little legs at the bottom. So we're gonna put a dab of glue. Now you can use school glue, things like that if you want. If you don't have a glue gun, it's not a big deal. We're gonna put a dab of glue here, and then we're just gonna cross those little legs. Okay. You see how it creates the curve to the petal? Now, if you want the petal to be a little less curved, you just wouldn't cross the legs so much. You just do it slightly. If you want it really curved, you can go all the way across and curve it as much as you want. The look is all dependent on your preference. So let's get to gluing. Okay, got a little dab of glue there. I'm just gonna cross the legs slightly. So guys, I just wanted to stop right here and talk to you about the size of petals we are actually using. And some of you might be looking at them going, oh my gosh, these are the tiniest little things. Well, they are, because I'm going to be putting mine on a wine bottle, so I can't have them too big. But what you can do is you can make these as big as you want. If you want one petal to fit on one page and make a really big flower, you can totally do that. I made a lot of these. I probably made about 200 of these flowers using this technique, but on a bigger scale for my daughter's sweet 16th birthday. And if I can find a picture of it, I'll throw it up on the screen to see how big. Each one was probably about this big. So I'll try to put a picture of that up, and you can also use, instead of book pages, you can use cardstock paper. So if you have that, you can use that as well. With our leaves, I'm just gonna fold them in half. You still have to make sure you cut the slits in them so they have little legs that you can cross over. I'm gonna fold them. And then I'm gonna take my bow tool or my ruler, and I'm just going to bend them slightly. Now, I'm not gonna glue these right now. I'm actually going to wait until the flower is put together, and then I'll see how far I think the flower should bend and how far I should cross these little legs, or if I want to keep them out straight or whatever. So I'm gonna wait till last to glue these guys. Now it's time to start assembling the flower. We are going to take our hexagon, and we're going to start with the biggest petals first and work our way in. So we have 6 petals, 6 sides, and we're gonna go ahead and start gluing these. Now, the further away that you glue your flower or your petal to your hexagon, it's gonna be more open. And the closer you do, it's obviously gonna be a tighter flower. So we'll go ahead and get started. A little bit of glue on the back of your petal. Glue it on the first side of your hexagon. And now your second petal. And then we'll just make sure that they almost overlap just slightly. And there we go, there's the start to our paper flower. Isn't it looking cute already? Look at that, so cute. So now you can go with your next level, your next size petal, and you're gonna do the same thing. But what you're gonna do is take this one and put it in the center of these 2 petals. That way this one here is overlapping the sides of these two. And then we'll start going all the way around. And there we go, there's our next level. We're gonna repeat that same process, alternating our next petals and making sure they go in between two of the last rows of petals. That way it gives it fullness and makes it look a little bit more realistic. Okay guys, now our flower petals are all attached. Now we can go ahead and add a center. And I think what I'm gonna do, because I haven't done this yet, is maybe use some of these gems. Maybe just one. Yeah, maybe I'll just stick with one big one. I haven't done just one simple center yet. Put some glue in the back of it. Just drop it right in the center. Now that we have that, we can go ahead and see if we want to add one or two leaves to the back of our flower. Maybe I'll do, I haven't done this yet, where they kind of have it on either side. What do you think? Yeah, I think we'll do that. So, a little bit of glue, and across, just like we did with the petals. And I'm going to put some glue on here, on the leaves. And then I'm going to place them where I think they might look good. And I think that looks cute. I haven't done two leaves on the sides yet. So, you're all finished with your flower, and you can make as many as you want. You can make them as big as you want, like I said. The templates are adjustable as long as you are increasing the size of your petals on your paper. Or of course, you can increase the size of your petals if you're using a silhouette or a cricket. These are all of the flowers that I've made so far. So now I'm ready to get moving on to decorating my wine bottle. So the reason why I do this with a roller is because it gives actually a better, smoother surface on the bottle if you do want to use chalk on it. And these wine bottles will take 3 coats of the black chalkboard paint, and I let each coat dry in between. Okay, so now I'm going to take my flowers and see where I'm kind of going to place them on the bottle. Like that. That's cute. So I'm just going to give a nice amount of glue. Then hold down my flower for a few seconds. Now with this one, I'm going to put the glue on the back side of this flower instead of directly in the bottle, so I can place it a little easier. There's one. It's very cute. Now if I wanted to, I did cut out a few extra leaves that I could put in here in different places to kind of fill up around the bottle. I might go ahead and do that. Okay, I actually used my Cameo to cut out this very intricate and detailed birds on branches. You can definitely try to cut this out by hand, but you might want to make it a little bigger. I also just Googled bird silhouettes, and I came up with several pictures of birds, and I found one that I really liked that I thought would look really good on the black wine bottle, along with some flowers. Now I just used this Elmer's Craft Bond that I got at Hobby Lobby probably like a million years ago by the looks of the bottle, but it's a clear Elmer's glue, so when I put it on the black, you would see it less. So now I'm gonna go ahead and take a few flowers and see if I want to place them somewhere around the birds.